Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at increasing and decreasing by a fraction of an amount. Okay, if you haven't done fractions of amounts, so that's video number 77, if you haven't done that yet, I suggest you go back and do that first, because we're going to be using the techniques there in this video. Okay, so let's make a start. So in these questions we're going to see increase or decrease. Okay, that's what we're looking at. And we're also going to be given a fraction and a number that we need to increase or decrease. So, let's have a look at question number 1. Increase 14 by a half. Okay, now the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite that question. Okay, now my starting point is 14. So I know it's going to be 14. It's increase, and because it's increase, that means that it's plus. Okay, we're adding, making something bigger, we're adding. Okay, so increase 14 by a half. Now, what this actually means is we're going to be adding half of 14. Okay, so that's what it actually means. It means 14, your starting point, plus half of 14. And I'm going to put a circle or a little bubble around that half of 14, because that's what I need to work out first. Okay, and like in the previous video, to do that, half of 14, it's a fraction of an amount. I'm going to draw my box and I'm going to put 14 in it. I'm then going to draw another box underneath it which is identical in size, and I'm going to split it into two boxes because the number at the bottom of the fraction is a 2. So it gets split into two boxes. And now what I've got to do is I've got to split that 14 evenly into those two boxes. So if I were to, let's say these were 14 sweets, and I had to share them equally between two people, I want to know how many sweets each person would get. Okay, so 14 shared between 2, well, I'm going to get 7. But once I've done that, I want to know how many is in one box. So that is one box, and one box is 7. So it becomes 14 plus 7, which equals 21. So my final answer to the original question is 21. Okay? We're going to do that again, but this time we're going to look at a decrease. It's exactly the same process. So, again, decrease 18 by 1/3. Okay, now, a starting point is 18, so I'm going to rewrite the question, remember. So it's the first thing we're going to do is rewrite the question. It's 18, decrease, so this time we're taking away, so decrease, so 18 take away 1/3 of 18. And again, I'm going to put a bubble around 1/3 of 18. And the reason I'm putting a bubble around this is because that's what I've got to work out first. Okay, before I do anything else, before I can do anything else, I need to work out what the value of that bubble is. So I need to work out what 1/3 of 18 is first. Okay, so I'm going to draw my box. I'm going to put 18 in it, because that's how many I've got. And I'm going to draw another box underneath it, equal size. This time, because 3 is at the bottom of the fraction, I'm going to split it into 3 equal boxes. And now I've got to share that 18 equally into those 3 boxes. Okay. Now one method of doing this, especially when you get bigger numbers, is you could put dots in. Right, 1 in each until you've got 18 dots in total. So that's 9 at the moment. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I'm going to count how many dots I've got in one of these boxes. I've got 6, So I've got 6 dots in each box. So each box is worth 6. Now, I want the value of 1 box. So I'm going to underneath again. I want 1 box this time. And it's worth 6. So it's 18 take away 6. So 18 take away 6, that is 12. So the answer to my original question is 12. Okay? If you need to, pause the video, rewind, go back and watch that again, follow it step by step. Okay, our third example is a little bit trickier because we've got a different fraction here. We've got 3/8. Okay, so again, our process isn't going to change. Okay, the only thing that's going to change is this bit at the end where we have 1 box here. This time we're going to have more than 1 box. Okay, so that the process is still exactly the same. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to rewrite out this question so that it looks a bit nicer for us. So increase 56 by 3/8. My starting point is 56 because that's the number I have to increase. It's increase, so we are adding. Now, my fraction this time is 3/8, so I'm increasing it 3/8 of my starting number. 3/8 of 56. And what I'm going to do again now is I'm going to draw my bubble around my fraction of an amount. So 3/8 of 56. I've got to work this out first. So underneath it, I'm going to draw my box. And I'm going to put 56 in it. Okay, underneath, I'm going to draw another box. And this time I'm going to split it up into 8 equal boxes. Okay, so split into 2, split it into 4, and split each one of those in 2, and I've got 8 equal boxes. Now I've got to work out how much goes in each one of those boxes. So 56 shared between 8, which is going to be 7. Okay, there's going to be 7 in each of these boxes. So I'm going to write 7 in each of these boxes. Okay, 56 divided by 8 is 7. Okay, but now I want to know how many is actually in 3 boxes. This number at the top of the fraction, that's how many boxes I need to add together. So underneath, I'm going to draw one large box, which is the same width as 3 of those boxes. And the value that goes in this box here is the 3 boxes above it added together. So 7 plus 7 plus 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. So now, bring down my original question, 56 plus 21 equals, and that's going to be my final answer, so 76 plus 21 is 77. And my final answer, my answer to the original question, is 77. And that is how we increase and decrease by a fraction.